Good morning, everybody. This is Stephen Howson. This is the Sunday paper review. I need an intro for this, don't I? It's the only one, pretty much the only one I've not got an intro for at the moment. So I'll definitely try and sort an intro out. I've got a couple of days off during the week, so I'll definitely try and sort an intro out for that. If you've got any ideas, do you think we should have like a load of newspapers on a reel or something like that? Let me know, and I'll try and box it over this week. Right, so no transfer rumours today. Get in. But we have got some stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about Keano and Zlatan, Bryan Robson on Wayne Rooney, the violence over in Marseille, and before we get kicking off, this guy's my new hero. You're going, who the fuck is that? This guy called Anthony La Rosa. By the looks of it, he's made a Twitter account, and the only tweets he's ever made are to the Football Republic on their TFR live show. So this is what he's been doing. He's basically just been sending in videos of himself pouring stuff over his head all the way through the shows. That's milk. I think this is ice. This is the best one though. What an absolute hero. The guy's only got 9 followers. Go find my Twitter and you'll see I've just tweeted him saying this guy's the real MVP of Football Republic Live for the Euro show. So I don't know if you know what that is. There's a live watch along. And I didn't see the commentary last night because I have the sound turned quite far down on the telly. And then I have the Football Republic watch-along show just because it's a bit more chaotic and entertaining than just watching the match. So I didn't see some of the stupid comments that saying Lallana was excellent, which people have told me that's what ITV were doing this morning. So get the TFR watch-along and just see this guy is absolutely smashing it. 9 followers. Go and give him a follow. He absolutely deserves it. Right, so first things that we're going to get into then. I think we need to get into the violence, don't we? It's front page on the Sun. And it's fucking chaotic, innit? I spoke to Rooney yesterday, who's over there for Chelsea Fans Channel, and he just said it's absolutely mad. And I don't think... My instant reaction was to, and especially when we started seeing some of the scenes and stuff like that, was to go, fucking England fans, everywhere we go, fucking stuff up. But I actually don't think that's the case, or not entirely the case in this, everything's not black and white, there's always shades of grey, and I think there's a massive big patch of grey right in the middle of this, and I think there's probably a few people to blame. There's definitely England fans that have gone over there and are open to violence, 100%. There's an element of England support that loves that sort of shit. There's an element, by the looks of it, of the Russian support, which is bang up for this. It seems like there's local lads from Marseille that aren't happy with the invasion of English coming over, and they're causing trouble, and the police seem to be exacerbating all of this. The police are going around just heavy-handed, knocking fuck out of people, just tear-gassing people just for, like, yeah, fuck it, just... That's how they disperse crowds in France, is they just go, boom, get some tear gas down, and everyone fucks off. Not realising how much that's going to wind everybody up. Now, this is something that I found well interesting. I'm hoping it was in the Sun. It might be in the sports section. Here we go. Can you read that? Ruski put gum shield in, and then riot began. That's a guy going prepared to fuck shit up, innit? That's a guy that has got one thing on his mind. Who packs like, oh, got my Russian shirt, got my away shirt, got a flag, gum shield. That's someone who's clearly gone for a dust-up. By the sounds of it, there's a lot of them that have gone masked up. The end of the game last night seemed to be a big clash between England and Russia supporters inside the stadium. There was clashes outside the stadium. The police have been getting in the mix, Marseille locals, and as I said, some England support are definitely open to that sort of... There's a faction of England support that is all about that violence. And it does tar the name, and it stops me wanting to go watch England as well, to be honest, because I just don't want to get caught up in all that shit. The violence at football baffles me. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. It's not hard. Don't prove you're hard. Go to the gym and fight people properly where it's contained and safe to do so. The amount of people who can just take one punch and crack their head open and die on a pavement. What's hard about that? What is hard about that? There's nothing hard about being a fucking football hooligan. It's absolutely pathetic. It's just absolutely pathetic. There's nothing hard about it whatsoever. Oh, a big group of you going around kicking fuck out of people who... It's always the people that don't want to get involved as well, it seems, that end up getting caught up. There's old people, there's fucking middle-aged blokes and people with their families that get caught up in it. What is hard about that? Just turn it in. It's absolutely pathetic. This is going to rumble on, I think. This is definitely going to rumble on. Hopefully England-Wales isn't going to have any fucking problems. You wouldn't have thought. But who knows? Russia, Slovakia. I don't know if Slovakia's got a fucking hooligan problem. If they have, it's going to be a fucking big problem when they meet the Russians, isn't it? Don't know. I haven't heard of any other trouble coming out of France. Only where England have been. Only where England and Russia have been. Let's be fair. Let's be fair and say it's not just England at the moment. It's so it's an eye-opener. Obviously the French, quite rightly so, thinking ISIS are going to do something, are on mega high alert. But somebody got a smoke bomb into the stadium yesterday. That's fucking terrifying that someone was able to get a smoke bomb into the stadium when they're supposed to be doing enhanced security checks. So fuck it, let's just see how it goes down. Hopefully it's not an ongoing problem for England. If it is, it's a fucking joke. And they need to have a look at themselves and just think, what are you fucking doing, honestly? Let's get on to the more positive shit anyway. Let's stay with England. Let's get Bryan Robson's column up. So Robbo's been talking about Wayne Rooney. And he's been saying he's a fucking great player in the centre of the park. Bryan Robson knows a thing or two about midfielders, and he knows a thing or two about England. Do you know, as a United fan, it's hard to really get passionate about England as a football team, because it's you're sort of seen as an outsider by everyone who supports England, because everyone hates United, and as such everyone has a bit of an attitude towards United fans, at least. And you know, you've seen the whole of Wembley singing "Stand Up If You Hate Man U," where there's been 6 or 7, most of the class of '92 boys on the pitch during that time. The England captain was a United player. The England captain is a United player. It's always United players that seem to do stuff wrong at football tournaments for England, and that's mostly because it's mostly United players getting picked for England. Phil Neville had the mistake. It was 2000 or 2002, can't remember. David Beckham obviously getting sent off. I think Ray Wilkins was the first England player ever sent off, and at the time he was a United player. It's just like, it seems to be always, obviously, the thing with Rooney and Ronaldo. Even though Ronaldo did fuck all wrong in 2006, people forget it was Wayne Rooney that stamped all over Carvalho's bollocks. That's why Wayne Rooney got a red card, not because fucking Ronaldo winked 5 minutes later. That was BBC and Match of the Day. Just what had happened in 2006 is that the whole country had spent all summer praying for Rooney to get back. I think he had a broken foot or something like that. Praying for him to get back, building him up as this fucking great hope for the country. And then when he goes and fucks it up himself by getting sent off, the press is like, oh shit, we can't turn on Wayne Rooney. Look at all the shit we've written about how good he is for the past 3 months. Ronaldo, he winked. How dare he? So that's what happened. So it just seems like it's always United players getting shit, and it's a media thing, but it's also, I think, an attitude of the other supporters. You know, so England supporters made up of Sheffield Wednesday fans, West Ham fans, Wolverhampton fans, fucking Middlesbrough fans, and a lot of people typically don't like United. Liverpool, United, obviously massively successful clubs, don't really follow England. And that's a weird thing. I don't know if the smaller clubs try and bring success to themselves through England. It's a fucking strange one. There's not a lot of success to be had for England, but I don't know. Is it their opportunity to latch onto big clubs and big players? United and Liverpool fans typically don't really give a fuck about England. I like watching the tournaments. I find it hard to really become mega invested in it the same way I am with United. Especially in recent years, with all that's gone on in terms of the fans and this, that and the other. I interviewed Bryan Robson, and I spoke to Bryan Robson quite a lot. And when Bryan Robson talks about England, though, it makes you feel ashamed of your attitude towards England, or at least mine as a United fan anyway. And that's why I think Bryan Robson would be a fucking great member of the coaching staff for England. Because when he speaks, if you ever saw Bryan Robson play, especially if you ever saw him play in an England shirt, you cannot question the commitment he had to the cause. He was Captain Marvel. He was Mr. England. He was Mr. Manchester United. He played everything like he'd fucking kill you and die to get the win. That's why he was such a good footballer. And when he speaks about England, you shut your fucking mouth and you listen. And I spoke to him, I might upload it as a podcast actually, because it was a couple of years ago. It's fairly relevant. I've still got it on my computer. And I spoke to him, yeah, fuck it, I'm going to upload it as a podcast this week. So I spoke to him about the 1990 team, and I was asking him, was the 1990 team the best team? Obviously, he got injured, I think, after the first match and had to go home. It might have been before the first match. And I was like, that was the closest the England team has ever had to coming towards glory, or it feels like it. Maybe that's just because it was a World Cup I remember. And he goes, nah, it was actually the 1978 side. We had double European Player of the Year, Kevin Keegan up front, I think Brooking, Wilkins, etc. And he goes, that was the team that should have and could have gone on and done something. And you go, fucking hell. It's just the way Bryan Robson speaks about England especially, you go, you know that he'd do anything for England. And I find it, I try and consume anything that Bryan Robson speaks about when he talks about England, because it comes across as so fucking honest and so on point usually, that it's good to have get a grip of. This isn't the biggest column in the world in the Sun, unfortunately, but the gist of it is essentially like, Wayne Rooney is proving the doubters wrong who said that he couldn't play deep. And for me, that's the only place he can play at the moment. He can't play as a number 9. He doesn't have the agility or the speed to be able to do it. So, Wayne Rooney, as a 10 or an 8, I can kind of see it. Although I don't think he's got the legs to do it there for a full season. He definitely can play that role, and especially in this current England side, which is blessed with pace and lacking someone who's got a bit of an eye for a pass. I think this is the perfect opportunity to play him, and I do think there's no coincidence that you take off a leader like Rooney, which he undoubtedly is, and then we can see the late goal, and it feels like the loss that it feels like. So go check that out in the Sun. It's not the biggest column in the world, but it's a couple of good lines from Robbo on it, and this is a guy that knows England, that knows Manchester United, that knows fucking midfield and international tournaments. It's well worth reading. And the final one that I wanted to get onto, Roy Keane. Now, Roy Keane, whenever he comes out in the press, is fucking gold, isn't he? And I mean, absolute solid gold. Everything that he says. Now, he's compared Cantona and Zlatan. Now, everyone's sort of compared Cantona and Zlatan, the sort of catalyst that we saw. Young side, Cantona comes in. Not really. I don't think it's the same circumstances, because Zlatan isn't the troubled rebel that's moved from club to club looking for a home. I don't think that's the case. But I do think that there's an element of the arrogance / confidence that Zlatan Ibrahimovic will bring in. I don't think he's a long-term player for the club. I'd be surprised if he plays 40 games next year for us. I think he's going to be used a bit more sparingly than a lot of people assume. I might be wrong. And I think that I'm interested to see what impact he has on Memphis, because I think he'll tell Memphis exactly what he wants him to do when he's on the ball and where he wants him to put it, and I think Memphis will do it. I think Memphis has had an unfortunate season, but no one really had a great season for Manchester United this year. The fact that David De Gea wins Player of the Year again says everything you need to know, really, doesn't it? So I think Zlatan's going to put an arm around the likes of Memphis, Marshall and Rashford. I hope so anyway. And he's going to breathe some confidence into him, because those 3, or those 4 together, could be fucking spectacularly good. And if Wayne Rooney's still around, and I reckon I don't think it's as certain that he is going to be staying around as a lot of people think. If Wayne Rooney's around and he is played in that little bit of a deeper, more withdrawn role, then that's a hell of a forward for him to choose and to find runners and stuff like that. So anyway, sorry, I had a phone call and it cut the recording off. So yeah, what Keano is basically saying in this is that Zlatan can be the same sort of Cantona thing. He goes, and of course he's a good fit for United, he's a good player, and then he draws a likeness to Cantona and says they're big characters clearly. Whatever you say about Cantona, he was a popular lad, and I get the impression that Zlatan is the same. Whatever you hear from his teammates, he seems to be a bit of a character, and you can see that the way he plays. It's good to see that, because there's a lack of characters out there, and he certainly is that. On top of that, he's a very, very good player, and I completely fucking agree with him. I think a lot of the street... Recording cut off again, don't know what's going on about it. Yeah. So anyway, a lot of the street is bred out of players. A lot of that aggression is bred out of players at academy level. They're coached to be, well-rounded and have those hard edges sort of shaved off from them. The Wayne Rooney that burst onto the scene was fucking aggressive and gritty, and we don't sort of like that in players. We sort of sand that off a little bit. We've seen it with Dele Alli. Dele Alli's exciting, and I think a lot of academy players have got that in them. But I think to stay at clubs for 10 years like they have to, they almost are too professional, too experienced, if you like, too early in their careers. There's no fucking craziness in there. No, I'm not talking Mario Balotelli levels, but I'm talking sometimes that unpredictability that you get makes you a fantastic player. Right, that'll do for this morning anyway. I have to stitch like 4 different pieces of this video together. So thank you for watching. As I said, stick it in the comments what you think I should be doing for an intro for this one, what you'd like to see, and I'll try and get that boxed off next week. Talk to me about Robbo and Rooney. Talk to me about Zlatan and Keano. Excuse me. Talk to me about what the fuck is going on in France. Is it going to follow England around? Is it Russia? Is it the police? What's going on? And anything else that you like, and I'll get answering them later on today. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you soon. Laters.